Good afternoon, good to be back after a couple of rather interesting days, and you may want to comment on 96900 693 if you issues around. Earlier this week, a colleague described my life as surreal, and there's certainly been something surreal about and surrealistic about the 48 hours that started at 9 AM Monday. It began with a 5-hour session at the Austin Health Repat Hospital with some radioactive treatment to see if my liver cancer had spread to my bones. I then raced to 3AW to watch Premier Baillieu's press conference on his police commissioner, whom he publicly supports, while announcing a special inquiry into why he isn't doing his job better. And then I came on air. Tuesday started on a high note. The latest radio ratings came out, and you made 3AW Drive #1 in Drive on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but you gave the honour to Fox FM on Thursdays and Fridays. But as I said at the time, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. Then a positive meeting with my lawyers, because next week I'm facing sentencing over that name them, shame them anti-suppression order rally, a precursor to another rally we plan to hold on the steps of Parliament House at noon on Sunday. And also on the positive side, Tuesday a call from Professor Bob Jones with the good news that the cancerous tumours on my liver have not caught a boat in my bloodstream and got into the bones. That would be a disaster because it would take me off the life-saving transplant waiting list. Tuesday night, watched the budget and the post-mortems and started doing some work for yesterday's program. And at 11:10 PM, the call. A call from the liver transplant unit coordinator at the Austin to tell me a donor liver had become available and I should get straight to the Austin hospital. And that became a blur of grabbing the already packed bag and leaving heaps of instructions in case I was going to be out of action for some days, or maybe weeks, or even months. And you can read details about what happened over the next hours on the 3AW website and also the My Liver, My Life blog on hinch.net. There were chest x-rays and ECG files and files of blood taken, swabs from everywhere, talks with the nurse in charge, the anaesthetist, one of the doctors, the liver transplant unit people, and then some private hours with Chanel. The deadline for going under the anaesthetic kept getting pushed back and back and back, and finally, after 9 hours of preparations and waiting, came the bad news. The donor liver and my liver were not compatible. It's what they call a dummy run, which really is not a dummy run. They're not dummy runs, they are genuine, meticulously planned military operations that for myriad reasons just can be aborted. In this case, as Greg Evans would say, it was not a perfect match. So Bob Jones delivered the news around 9:15. And my immediate reaction was actually positive. And I thought, well, I made it here, made it so far, I must be near the top of the list. But even that's not quite true. There is no top of the list. It's not that simple. The call could come again in a day, or a week, or a month, or never. Tuesday night, the planets were in alignment. But for me, that galaxy may occur or may not recur. So in the days and months ahead, more people in more urgent need may receive that fateful call before I do again. And sadly, and remember this, more families trying to cope with their grief, and they'll make an amazing gift to a total stranger, and for a life lost, another one will be saved. So it has been an incredible roller coaster ride of emotional ups and downs and hopes raised and then dashed, and yesterday, drained and desperate for sleep, when Chanel and I thought that nothing else could happen, it did. We received a letter from the Office of Public Prosecutions about my upcoming sentencing in the Magistrates Court. And the OPP informed us that they will submit to the court on May 20 that, quote, an immediate term of imprisonment is appropriate. So I guess I should now keep 2 bags packed for different occasions. Just make sure the pyjamas with the arrows on them are in the right bag. As my colleague said, surreal.